videos.
Ooh.
DaVinci Resolve is fucking sick.
I love it.
I will fight. I actively refuse to use Adobe in general, but Premiere, fuck off.
I'm not paying, $500 a month or something crazy?
What?
Subscription models for
Software?
For software, for like programs I actually need to do my goddamn job.
Fucking dumb.
Fuck off. I will pay a one-time universal license. Thank you. Kindly. Shout out to Affinity, though. Unironically, I use their photo editing software a lot, and it's been dope as shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do you know what else doesn't have a subscription model?
What?
Hi and welcome to Blankbodies, a Vampire the Masquerade V5 tabletop and horror podcast. I'm your host Hunter, and I'm joined by.
That was like a very bad transition.
It was.
Usually you're really good at them. I'm John.
I'm a little tired. We did a little walking today.
We did a lot of walking.
And then I ate a lot of Mexican food.
Hell yeah.
Delicious.
This is Sarah. And also, we do technically have a subscription. I guess, is it more of a tithe?
No, it's a donation.
It's a donation.
I like the word
Tithe.
tithing.
Yeah, I do
Please
too.
tithe to us
Oh,
on
God.
Patreon.
I'm in.
It's like,
Once you give us your tithing, you can gain your official title in our server and organization.
we're upfront with the fact that we're selling positions of power.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Also, be nicer to your superiors in the Discord.
What?
We have to give those titles weight. Otherwise, they're not positions of powers.
Wait.
What?
So we have
That's
to start
insane.
treating people's Discord title,
Yeah, okay.
kind of like a barony,
This sounds
where different
like
titles have different levels of power.
this sounds like you're trying to set up a really toxic Discord server, and I don't want to deal with anybody's Discord kittens. Like, I'm so good.
We could make that the most expensive role. So then,
Oh no.
You have to pay us $200 a month in order to be able to talk about your Discord kittens.
or
Uh,
your Discord kitten is invalid in our server unless you pay us $200 a month.
wow. You know, I would stop you, but I don't have the login to the Patreon, so I literally cannot.
I'm also too lazy to probably change anything. So
That's our saving grace for most of these bits. But hello. Speaking of bits, speaking of wrangling things, we are doing, as requested by several people who listen to the show, a kind of a primer on how to become a storyteller.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So, the kind of focuses on this is mostly for folks that are new to running games, new to running the storyteller system, or veteran players and storytellers that want to encourage their friends to try something new.
AKA get off their ass and run a game for once.
Yeah, because, God, being forever ST is... I'm not going to say it's a nightmare, but, like, it's a lot of work.
It's a whole thing.
It's a lot of work.
It's like a whole jorb.
Yeah, it's a gerb in this economy. Shit. So, we're going to talking about skills that can be basically kind of the bedrock for your adventures in wrangling your friends and truly understanding the depths of their stupidity.
Yay!
Hey, I did cross out stupidity for creativity.
Yay!
Yeah. Oh no, it's great. We're all
Creativity.
dumbasses together. It's fine. Sometimes they'll make you feel like the dumbass because be like, nah, I came up with this 5D chess move, and you're like, son of a bitch, I'm in. That happens sometimes. They'll just bring you this thing, and you're like, I came up with this plan. I spent 2 weeks researching it in a hyperfixation hole. I've got a diagram, got plots, I got schemes. I've like edited a small AMV together to explain everything. I have a soundtrack for it. And you're just like,
You know what, buddy? Get it.
work. So that is what we're doing today. Content warning, just normal World of Darkness, mature horror gaming goth content.
Huzzah!
Nothing should come out more than what we normally talk about, so woohoo. It's like I needed a break.
Why? I don't understand.
Couldn't understand.
I don't get it.
We're done with that month now.
Yeah, now that it's done,
The
there's
sounds
no,
of
literally no
squelching
reason.
flesh are in the past now. They're in the past.
Oh yeah, sorry. How do you do that backwards?
Oh god.
Like a...
Oh no, stop. Please. I hate it.
I use this throat spray, so that was nice and lubricated.
It was.
It was going.
It felt soggy.
I just used
It sure did.
Oh god. This is what happens when we let the boys have outside time.
I like outside time.
I need more outside time. It's good for my development.
It
It's
is.
true.
It's true. So, the sources for any of this, I'm going to be using V5 Core Book, the website National Storytelling Network, and a little bit of information from Backstage,
Hell
which
yeah.
is a site for people that do theater.
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 If you take this episode and you go, this is a cool primer for storytelling. How do I start building a game? We have some basic earlier episodes you might want to check out as well for more details if you haven't. Episode 2, we talk about the dice system for V5. Episode 3, we talk about like getting started as in terms of like what supplies you may need and some like money saving options on running the game cheaply. Because storytelling and playing games doesn't have to be super fucking expensive unless you want to drop that money. That's on you, I guess.
I mean, that's cool if that's what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. And then episode 5, we talk about consent and player expectations. So you can kind of figure out how to like calibrate games so that they're enjoyable for everybody and you don't hit a weird squick or scare the hose for no reason.
Yay! Don't need to scare the hose unless you've talked about it before.
Yeah, unless it's a horror game and your intent is for hoes to be scared.
Sometimes the hoes love being scared, but it's like on their terms.
Fair.
I hope that makes sense. Anywho, storytelling. What the fuck is it?
So you stand on you stand in front of a crowd of people and you orate a tale, usually one that has a beginning, middle, and end. Oftentimes teaching some sort of valuable lesson.
Yes, that
Cool.
is one way of doing a storytelling.
Yes, please make sure that all of your tabletop games end with teaching your players a valuable lesson.
Well, the power is friendship.
No, the most powerful magic is chronomancy. I'm sorry, I will agree with that ginger fuck on this. As a fellow ginger, I can call him that. Anyways, a succinct definition that I thought was good from the National Storytelling Network is: storytelling is the interactive art of using words and actions to reveal the elements and images of a story while encouraging the listener's imagination.
I was kind of right.
Yeah. There's just lots of ways to do it. It doesn't necessarily have to be you stand up on the biggest log and yap.
But it can.
It can be. There's
If you're playing in a LARP, you're more likely to stand up on the biggest log and yap for a moment.
It depends on the character you're portraying.
You know, when I was a child, for some reason, my mom sent me to a storytelling summer camp.
That's kind of neat.
It was fun.
Your family's so goddamn white.
We're so white, we're Scandinavian.
I know. It's just sometimes you share things and I go, what? You know what? That makes sense for you.
That's also where I learned how to steal from vending machines.
That
Hell
also makes
yeah.
sense for you.
It was in a YMCA.
Were you just reaching your arm up into the guts to get the snacks?
Into the guts.
No, you get a coat hanger and you bend it. You
Oh.
can bend
So
around
you
the
were
door.
giving the vending machine anyways.
Basically, yeah, and then eating the Cheeto-based fetus.
We just
if
started
you
the
will.
episode. I immediately crossed the threshold. Like, we should be talking about anything too terrible immediately.
Sarah, and you did it.
And
It
I
was
did it
you.
this time. It was me. I also got outside time. Anyway, so storytelling involves presenting a narrative of some sort. This can be done in different forms of media. Dare I say, you even can mix the media. Wow. It's not like I'm a multimedia artist or anything.
Oh me, oh my.
Oh my god. Storytelling also involves language, often in combination with vocalizations and gestures.
Okay.
It isn't uncommon for tabletop games to be held over voice chats or through text formats like messaging apps, forum posts, etc. So sometimes you don't get the auditory verbal components, but
You don't have to do it face to face, and you don't even have to do it voice to voice.
yeah,
I do find text tends to run very differently.
it does, just because it's a completely different kind of format and medium. But
It also generally breaks the flow of time, the in-person or in voice chat. You know, it's usually direct communication back and forth, whereas text usually takes place over a wider... Like, very few people say, we're going to play a game over text. Everyone must be typing between 9 and 11 tonight. I mean, you can do scenes like that, but in general, when it's text based, it's kind of just as people have time, they come and go.
Yeah, because like I've taken part in several different forms of like text based or forum based role play games. Like hell, even a decade or plus ago, I was part of a whole like role play community where there's different forum boards for different genres of games and stories, and within those there would be like essentially like subreddits for like different either chunks of the world, different parts of cities, nations, all sorts of stuff, and then people would like run their text scenes in the forums. I've done a lot of role play games over Discord where it's a mix of text and voice chats or just purely text. I will say the text ones, you still have a voice. It's just because it's on text, you're getting more into like what is a writing voice, and each community will have its own different way of delineating how to format text to denote whether you are screaming or if you're telling something in secret or if you're talking in a language that isn't like the common language of the game. Yada, 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 yada. I can't account for all of those rules, so depending on your game format, you might have different options. Or if you're doing scenes in voice chat, you're going to have the vocal tones and accents and inflections, but you don't have the body language like you would if you had video chat, or if you were doing the game in person where you get the full body experience.
The full body.
So...
Just the other day, I was actually playing over Discord game on camera, and well, not on camera, but just via voice.
Yeah.
And I kept using body language, and then realizing that I didn't have my camera on.
Oops.
And I was like, oh, and I turned my camera on. And I was like, great, now I can use body language.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes
Helps.
even when I've done voice chat scenes, like I will still act out things on my side.
Just to feel the vibe.
Yeah, because oh my god, imagine role playing in a game.
What?
And sometimes doing the motions helps you also helps you vocally like sell what you're trying to perform.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you ever get a chance to watch recordings of voice actors in the booth, a lot of them do the exact same thing.
They definitely act out quite a lot.
Even now, listening to us, I talk with my hands.
That's why very early on we got...
I still occasionally punch the mic. I'm so sorry.
Normally I edit those out. I'm leaving that one in.
Good.
It was demonstrative. Demonstrative, if you will.
But on that note, there are also many contexts that people exist in. Storytelling methods will be dependent upon access, availability, ability, comfort, culture, etc. There is no one definitive way to tell a story, so good news.
Hey!
I have a bunch of different options for you. Not every story is for everyone, and that's okay.
As long as it's communicated, it's totally fine.
Yeah, that's kind of more of the problem I tend to run with gaming now, is there seems to be portions of the gaming community that think all games should be accessible to every single person in every kind of emotional, mental state and or interest level. And if it's not, you're bad at doing the game. And I'm like, that's wild, but also...
That's like the worst art critique I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it's kind of reverse pizza cutter is the best way to explain it, because we have edgy fucks that think if they're not doing the most emotional damage to their friends every session...
What's the point?
What am I doing? And they're like, oh, well, if I didn't throw, like, 12 owl bears and just made this dungeon crawl game into a Dark Souls level, physically or emotionally, the fuck am I doing? I have failed as a storyteller. And then you have other people that are just like, well, we're just here to fight goblins, and you're here to just be petty at court. I don't want to, like, upset anybody. I'm like, well, if you don't throw any challenges at anyone, what are we doing?
So that's why I don't like a lot of modern pop media. It is just really bland and nothing interesting happens, and it's so overtly accessible that it's not interesting.
I feel that way about a lot of very, very popular horror franchises. I would say most new like Marvel movies have become so... Yeah, movies, yes, the TV shows seem to still actually be kind of saying something, but I also haven't watched like the newest Daredevil, but
I've heard it's good.
I've heard that one's really good. I'm gonna call some folks out. It's kind of how I feel about the Conjuring verse and is it Terrifier? Yeah, Terrifier. Yeah. I'm just like, for me, those genres just feel like they've been made so broad they're not really fucking saying anything.
Well,
and kind of for me, it's not.
The director of Terrifier openly said that he doesn't want to say anything with his movies, that they are completely apolitical, and that they're just fun for people who like gore.
Yeah, but that's like also making a political statement. Anyways, yeah, so like that's not for me. But I'm not gonna be a dickhead to people who like the Terrifier series, because I'm like, as far as I'm aware, it's not actually hurting anyone.
Yeah, it's fine.
So I'm like, okay, I mean, if you guys want to do special effects with a spooky clown, okay, cool.
Do your thing, I guess.
I might not go to that movie night, and that's okay. You might not come to my weird artsy fartsy horror night where I'm like, hey, so I'm gonna play Possession.
I can watch the movie about once a year. I like that movie, but it is long.
It's long, and oof.
It's not.
You're just watching a marriage fall apart.
It's more of a
real
drama
time.
than a horror for like 90% of it, and that's fine. That is the horror of the movie too. But it's also just like, I don't know if I can watch a 3-hour drama about divorce multiple times this year.
That's fair. So yeah, that's just something that I'm like, yeah, not every story's for everybody, and like, yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
So I think I would like to add to that though, in that as an ST, your job is to try and find the story that is for your players. And if you're trying to tell a story that you don't think is appropriate for someone, you either need to change the story or change the players. Mm-hmm. That's where the challenge comes in. Mm-hmm. It's not an excuse to be like, well, this is my story, it's what I want to tell. Mm-hmm. If that is the stance you take, then you have to have the tact and the ability to tell your friend, hey, I'm doing this with my story. I feel like you may not vibe with it. Would you be okay sitting this one out?
That's like...
Or, I wrote this story. I realized it has elements of this, this, and this. I know Jeff isn't down with that kind of thing. I should rewrite things for them. You have to pick one or the other. There is no middle ground there, I feel like. There's a slight middle ground of, like, you can have the above board talk of, like, hey, man, I'm trying to do this. Did I not signal this well enough for you? I'm saying in advance, if you know. Yeah. And if you know
Session Zero stuff, yeah.
Sure. For Session Zero, it's like this is what I want to do. If your players say, I'm not down with this, you have to say, okay, well, that is what the story that I've written is about. Mm-hmm. Do you want to set this out, or do you want to push things back while I rewrite everything?
Yeah. And
it's kind of...
Yeah, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be, like, plot elements. It could also just be themes, because you could have like, hey, I want to run this game, but it's going to be a slow, like, traditional gothic kind of horror where it's like spooky mansion, ghosties.
It's like a Hammer
Everyone
movie.
is slowly going crazy.
Yeah, and
there's asbestos in the walls.
Yeah, and they're siblings and they're fucking each other. Because so many...
The asbestos in the walls?
Yes.
It's too
I I watched Crimson Peaks recently.
Oh, okay.
That's such a good movie, though.
It's such a good movie. Plus, you get Hiddleston butt for a little bit, which is fun.
That was another one of those movies. Sorry for the slight tangent here. Mm-hmm. That was another one of those movies that I went in thinking, like, okay, this is Guillermo del Toro, and he's going to do, like, a hard ghost story. Lots of spooky ghost shit. And then it was like, oh, no, that was a gothic romance.
There's ghosts in it, and there's some fucking horrifying things happening.
Yes. But it's not like one of those... It's not like a hard ghost
Yeah, you're like, this wasn't a creature feature. This is more of a traditional gothic story. So yeah, if you're doing that kind of story and you're inviting Action Man friend who either is not aware of what this is or that might just not be their bag. Mm-hmm. That might be one of the ones where you go, hey friend, is this...
Do you want to give this a shot, or do you want your character to be off for the next few sessions?
Yeah, or, you know, is there a different game you want to do? Or like, are you cool with playing out the guy that's like completely out of his element and he's like, I have all these problems. My only option is hammers. None of the problems are nails. What do I do? I have hammers for fists. That might be they might be into that story as a challenge.
That's basically just werewolf. All I have is hammers, and none of these problems are nails. Werewolf.
Werewolf the apocalypse. Yeah, so that's just like that's fine. Just people just need to be more chill and communicative. It's just me being someone who's been forever ST before, that is a wisdom nugget, is you are completely valid to be like, hey, this is the kind of game I want to run. Are you in or are you out? And then if you need to calibrate later on, that is also okay. You can also pivot things as you need. if your friends are not having a good time, because it's like, well, your job is to make sure everybody's having a good time. So, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Other little note for storytelling is a prime way for us to connect with each other. And so, be open. Because, storytelling is a way for humans to basically engage in play through all the various age groups and socioeconomic, blah, 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 blah. And for some folks, when they get into character or get into storytelling, it becomes kind of like a vulnerable thing because you are sharing an art and a performance with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so, be open to receive what people are going to give you performance-wise, as well as critique, and also be open about, like, your thoughts and feelings. Don't be a dick about it.
It's not that much different than playing superheroes with the kids at the park.
Mm-hmm.
It's just more structured.
Yeah. Waha.
Waha.
Waha. I don't know what that noise was. I'm so sorry. Legally distinct wahoo. Storytelling is interactive, involving a storyteller and an audience. Wow.
I would say the only difference in a game setting is that the audience are also storytellers, maybe to a lesser degree. But I think everyone's kind of... I know we're talking about being ST as being the person who leads, but you also kind of have to give your players enough space to also take the lead.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing that makes, like, tabletop roleplay games kind of a different format as opposed to, like, a video game.
Yeah.
In the terms of gaming overall, the audience is typically your player base.
Yeah.
So your players are going to be interacting with your story. In terms of storytelling for a tabletop game, that communication of play and audience is very direct and immediate, as opposed to video games where studio puts out a product.
You have to find product and then put it in the thing.
And then player interact with product, and then players give feedback on whether or not that story was something they connected with, whether the mechanics went well. That is... which sometimes lands fantastic at other times. Woof.
Not so great.
That is a complaint, too, that I hear from a lot of both STs and players. So maybe something to keep in mind is that video games are a very, very, very different format than tabletop games. On their surface, they're both games with rules, and the combat segment of D&D and the combat section of Baldur's Gate may be very similar, but they are overall incredibly different forms of storytelling. And I hear a lot of people complain either they've been in games or the STs, like, they're just running a video game, and no matter what I do, we're in their story, or I have my players show up and they just know to fight and they don't really want to role play, and they're playing it like it's Diablo.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing with, like, Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinders. The base core of those games is wargaming.
Yes. Which wargaming is fun.
Wargaming's fun. And yeah, Pathfinder and D&D is wargaming with some roleplay whacked on top of that. And how much roleplaying you want to do is kind of dependent upon, your group. But at the core base, that is a war game. That is built for combat. As opposed to, like, the storyteller system for World of Darkness, it's built on narrative first, and then the mechanics help you flesh out that narrative. I feel like you can kind of get a similar storytelling thing with, like, Call of Cthulhu with their dice system, at least in games I've played. Though I'm the psycho that's played a lot of Octoon Cthulhu as opposed to Call of Cthulhu, where that's a little bit more... It's literally a war game.
Yeah. I mean, I still think that in its core form... Call of Cthulhu might be my favorite tabletop game, so I'm a little biased there.
Yeah.
But I do think it really depends on the individual adventure. Like, some of them are very much just like, you have to get this inspiration before Demon eats the sun. You know what I mean? And others are like, all right, get our guns. We're about to go shoot us some cultists. I think Call of Cthulhu can have a lot of range, too.
A lot of the time, Call of Cthulhu is both of those at the same time, though. Like, at least in my experience, it's like, okay, we got to get the note so that we can finish the map to get our scroll to anti-demon the sun-eating demon. But that cult over there has it.
Yeah.
Time to get our Tommy guns.
Call of Cthulhu also has, like, different tones to some of it. And some of the... I've noticed the newer adventures don't do it as much. I think they've kind of spun off into their own thing. But, like, in the older adventures, they had specifically, like, more pulpy, which are more like men's adventure stories kind of adventures that are just like, we're just gonna go beat up people in a foreign land to get the idol of Cthulhu back. Whereas now it's a lot more of like the horror and mystery and intrigue.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a bad thing, but
yeah.
I've been meaning to buy the Call of Cthulhu book where it's got more stories set in Harlem.
Oh, that's a great book.
That book looked really good. Every time I seen it in the game store, I'm just like, I want to get it, but I'm broke.
I haven't read enough to prevent me from playing it if someone wanted to run that for us. But I did flip through it, and it looks really cool.
It looks dope as shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more stories that come from like an African American perspective in a lens of Call of Cthulhu.
I think that won some awards, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
It was a big book when it came out.
Art, gorgeous. The bits of story that I read looked dope as shit. I'm just like, yes, more of this. But it's... But yeah, some of those stories in that kind of a book might not be for everybody. There's portions of like World of Darkness and Vampire that are not for everybody and also require kind of different storyteller player interactions, because if I'm running a game that's more Camarilla based, this is going to be more like politics and intrigue and probably more like detective investigative social combat work, as opposed to a Sabbat game where it's going to be like, well, did you do the ritual right? No, this combat's going to suck.
You're in some trouble.
I mean, that goes all the way to D&D. I mean, there was, in a recent era, they were talking about which settings they're going to bring. There's a lot of, like, oh, they could never bring back Dark Sun because this, and this. It's like,
yeah,
you can just put a warning on it.
Yeah. Or maybe...
There's literally a Conan RPG. Yeah. You could bring back Dark Sun.
Yeah, it's like Dark Sun. Or maybe, I don't know, hire people that have more of a cultural background in, like, the Eurasian steppe.
You could do that, too, yeah.
Yeah. And they might, be able to bring more information about cool horse lords.
Horse lords.
Hell yeah. Anyways, where was I? Oh my god. Yeah. So players in tabletop RPGs are encouraged to use their imaginations to build the scenarios, characters, and settings in their minds based on the performance of the storyteller. I feel like that's kind of the biggest difference between video games as opposed to tabletop games. Because players kind of have a one-sided, almost like a parasocial relationship between the storyteller behind a video game, as opposed to tabletop game where it's like you and your 12 to 6 fat-ass friends are going to cycle amongst each other who sits behind which position at the table, and you're just going to be like, well, did you get the goblins today?
Especially when starting a game, I like to kind of I like to really encourage my players to take on some of that. So instead of just being like, all right, you're in a tavern, or like, all right, you've been called to Elysium, like we get their characters set up and they'd be like, so what are you doing tonight? I like to prompt my characters to build a scene of what their character is doing. And then I yes and that and work from there. Like a lot of my first games, I mean, I have done the classic, like, boom, you're in a place and something happens, everyone react. But I do like to also take my players and be like, all right, I want you to describe your character, what they look like, where they're at, what they're doing right now. And, like, really put that onus on them at the beginning, because I think that helps kind of prompt them and get them into a mental place where, like, so I do have a say in this world, too. And it's not... all right, we're sitting down to play the story that you've written. It's like, we are doing this together. And so I am starting by making you do it. Yeah.
Or like, following up for questions to ask for descriptors from the player. Because one that makes my job as a storyteller way fucking easier. Because I'm like, I'll absolutely hand you the mic when a player's like, so I'm gonna shoot this guy, and I'm like, okay, how do you shoot him? Like, do you use a long rifle? Do you got a shotgun? Do you use a pistol? Do you tilt it for style points? Do you look like somebody who knows what they're doing with a firearm? Like, give me what that sounds like from your character's perspective. And then I will turn to the other players and go, yeah, you guys see X, Y, and Z from this person. And then that might encourage the other players to ask questions about what they're doing. People might do insight rolls. Just in that one character moment, you can probably get, if you really milk it, like 6 rolls. 6 or 7 dice rolls out of that. Just one moment. And I'm like, players love fucking rolling math rocks and solving little puzzles and learning things about each other and telling each other little secret cool things. And I'm like, let them do that.
And also just giving your players a chance to describe their character at least once a session. Because, like, we play... I'm running a game for some new players right now, so of course they wanted to play D&D.
Oh yeah,
it's fine. I don't hate D&D.
It's classic.
It's what everyone wants to play first, and then I did say that we're gonna play something else after, but they were fine with that too. I'm scared I accidentally
You give them the free sample of D&D.
I accidentally left the Kindred of the East book out because I was flipping through it, and one of them found that and was like, "Ooh, this looks interesting." I'd play that, and I was like, "Okay, now I got to learn this." But so I might be running Kindred of the East soon. But anyway, what I was saying is like we play bi-weekly, and sometimes life happens. We have to rearrange schedules. And it's like, we had our first session, and everyone described their character. We did some things. It's been 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks if someone had something come up. I might not remember everyone at the table's description. Have them do it again. Be like, all right, tell us about what your character looked like. What are you doing? As just like a refresher to help build that memory. And also that way, someone doesn't feel like, oh, well, no one remembers my character. It's just like we're all just refreshing everyone's memory. We're getting into this.
It also gives them like a good opportunity to like give subtle hints about how their character might be feeling or, you know, what they might be thinking about where they're going to. You know, if you're having an Elysium scene and you say like, hey, everybody, like, what are you wearing to Elysium today? That can say a lot about a character. You know what I mean? Or you guys are, you know, you knew today you're going down into the sewers and it's been raining a lot recently.
Did you prep for that?
Right. What did you bring? Things like that. Now, I don't think that's very good to use as like gotcha moments. You know what I mean? Like, haha, you didn't specifically think to bring batteries for your flashlight?
Yeah, that's annoying.
That's silly, unless you've talked about that and you're like, you know what I want to do in my tabletop role-playing game? Resource manage.
There's people that love doing their shit. There could be like a techie guy in the coterie who makes a big deal about being like, I'm prepped for everything. And then you give them a scenario and you're just like, do you remember to change the batteries? And they're just like,
shit.
Did I? And I was like, I don't know. You want to roll a dice about it? And then, you know, you get the moment of like, he remembered. Everyone in the party goes, yay, claps for tech guy.
Great job, buddy.
Or you didn't, and the battery died, and everybody goes, way to go, dipshit.
How dare.
You built a character moment. Though on this note, I do want to add, using any and all tools, aids, props that help with the interaction are completely valid and worth investing in if they help.
Agreed.
I'm gonna forever be on this I will beat this horse till it's skeletal and its bones are dust. Fuck y'all. It's like, I don't understand it. Like, hey, if somebody's able to use a thing and it helps them with enjoying the game more, do it. Why would you take it away?
Yeah. It's dumb. I know it can also be a lot of extra work, and so there's reasons to not do it for the exact reason, because it helps just with time and stuff. But I don't get why people playing anything but D&D are so opposed to like maps and minis sometimes. It's like, we're not getting measuring sticks out. We're not doing this, but sometimes like just like setting some minis, drawing the shape of the room and saying this character's here, my character's here, I was standing here, lets people visualize the space they're in better.
Yeah, like I found for our group in particular, because we're all such like ADHD riddled like dumb fuck monkeys.
We're very visual thinkers
too.
I mean, half of us went to some sort of visual arts.
Yeah, and then we kind of have the neurospicy where we're just we're all thinking about like 6 things at once and get scatterbrained. Having a point of reference that we're like, okay, player A is in this corner, player B is behind the crate, player C is over here, and we can all agree these 3 points are here, and then, you know, it saves a lot of arguing. But yeah, there's also, because the gaming community is getting bigger and wider, there's people that may have, you know, language barriers I've found with online gaming, where I've done tabletop games with people where English is their second or third language. And sometimes you do need to use fucking Google Translate just to like Spanglish with each other to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, okay. Like that's one tool thing. I've played in LARPs where there's like actually like a missions board that people could go up to and pull missions off of that had like a little wanted poster.
It was pretty cute.
It was super cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to Arden.
It was very cute. Very much enjoyed.
It was very good, and it had the message. The missions board had the city outline for Boston on it because the Chronicle is set in Boston. And I was like, oh, see, environmental storytelling. There's a tool that keeps all of the ADHD spicy brained people on task because we were just like, ooh, I like reward. Here's ticket. I did thing. Thank for reward.
Thank you.
Gonna go run off and be stupid with my friends in the corner. I also like making props, and I've also run tabletop games with friends where people like didn't fully cosplay their characters, but they did like character binding is the best way to explain it, where they like lightly were in character at the table, and I'm like, yeah, that's super fun. Fuck yeah, go for it.
That's my favorite part about World of Darkness. Is because it is a modern setting. It's just an excuse to buy cool clothes.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Not gonna lie. You bought so many tracksuits.
I bought a tracksuit. I bought a windbreaker, that white and that pastel windbreaker.
I love that windbreaker though.
Yeah, that windbreaker rules.
Just
when I was playing a 90s Euro beat DJ.
Hate to admit it, how much us just dressing up for WAD things has just increased our group's aura.
Yep,
it's terrifying. So continuing on. A storyteller creates and guides the story. They build the setting and populate it with supporting cast. It is the storyteller who arbitrates the rules and springs horrifying new challenges into the game. This is from the V5 core book on page 40. There's a little section in the book that explains like storyteller and players and chronicle and like the very baby bat basics of like what a VTM game is made up of. And one of those elements is the storyteller.
Yay.
That poor bastard. Me, I'm poor bastard.
Thanks, storyteller.
The storyteller basically is the game captain.
Game captain.
When you're a storyteller or the DM, you're basically the game captain. I think that's kind of the best way to explain it. They are to take lead on driving the narrative, building the world, helping to build the player characters, helping to guide the players in the story through giving players choices, challenges, opportunities, etc., and managing the safety of the players as well as themselves. Game captain. Aye, aye.
Aye, aye, game captain.
That's why you buy your storyteller friend snacks for running the goddamn game.
It's a lot of effort.
It is. It's also going to be a lot of effort that you don't see at the game because, you know, people get nervous and they want to plan things out and they're like, I want to make sure I do a good thing for my friends so that they like what I did.
It's true.
Because I want my friends to be happy. Some people do.
I have a notebook that I ADD scribble vague ideas into most of the time, and then show up and ask my players what they want to do, and then be like, well, I have this idea.
Yeah.
There you go. I like to loosely script, though, because I have found the more that I write, the less of it I use.
Yeah.
Like, the more specific you get, the less likely your players are going to decide to take the path that you predicted or planned for.
It seems to be pretty true, yeah.
Yeah. That might be a secret tool for later in the episode as well.
Okay.
I'm like, yes, I agree. I also am in the... So I have a flow chart. It's made me pull out less hair, thank God.
I take more notes in-game when it's an ongoing game than I do between games.
Yeah.
Because it's more like, I need to remember what happened, so then we can move forward. And it's double fun because I have my current game. I have multiple players who take notes, and then I ask them to share their notes with me. After it, I just take pictures. And then it's like,
yeah, okay, thank you.
So those are the things that you thought were important to write down. So now...
These are things you're paying attention to. So.
Yeah.
I see. Kind of a little... building upon with managing safety, I believe that this should include for storytelling being aware of the lines and veils and or consent sheet of the no-gros of the group.
Yeah.
Just being aware of things that are cool, things that are not cool. If you're running games for friends, you guys generally will have an idea of what's cool and not cool. When you start playing games with strangers, I'd recommend just going ahead and asking. Which is things we have talked about on episode 5.
Go check it out.
If you so desire for more details. You will also be arbitrating disputes between players.
They do happen.
They will happen. This is going to happen if you're somebody who is uncomfy with dealing with conflict. Storytelling is going to be a little rough for you. I'm sorry. Because occasionally people get really wrapped up in their feels and they have big, powerful feelings about things. And that is okay. It happens. We also have episodes talking about bleed specifically. I believe that's consent episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say definitely check out the consent series if you're going to be new to STing. It's honestly, even just the first 2, there's a lot of them. But if you're running a very simple story, you'd get the basics, you'll be doing better than 90% of us, of me, of anyone's first game.
Yeah. So there'll be, rules arbitration, which most people will be like, hey, game captain, the rules say this. Is this what we're doing? And you can go aye or nay, and hopefully you and your friends have an understanding of like what's cool and what's not. This is what session zeros are for. Mm-hmm. But that will be your job, not just, arbitrating the rules of the game, but also just sometimes there'll just be little finagly issues and you need to be able to go like, hey friends, why is this happening? And I'll be honest, those are skills that have carried me a lot outside of gaming, and I'm very much like, thank God I play TTRPGs. Because it's made doing adulting life stuff way easier, because I can go, okay, if I pretend they're both wizards, I can wrangle wizards. This is fine.
I can wrangle wizards.
Normal full-blown humans, I'm not sure, but a wizard?
Wizard, got this. Got you, boo. Got this. Also, you will be in charge of, for safety, running post-game check-ins, which I understand that sounds exhausting. For most games, usually not. Usually, at the end of the game, everybody's really hyped and they want to tell you about all the cool stuff that they experienced in-game, and you can take those notes down.
Here's my post-game check-in. Did everyone have fun?
Yeah.
And if everyone reacts positively in any sort of way, you're good.
Yeah.
It's only when that someone like seems uncomfortable, you might message them private and be like, hey, is everything okay?
Or somebody in the moment be like, hey, what the fuck happened with whatever the monster was? Or what the fuck happened? Did I misunderstand?
Yeah.
And then you just go, oh yeah, I was trying to do XYZ. And they just go, oh, I read that as KYM.
Whoops.
Yeah. And you go, oh, okay, cool. I need to work on that. Cool. And then you can kind of calibrate and fix from there. So, yay, open communication. But that is your job to do. You don't finish and then go, okay, I'm done. I'm just like, girl, you're not even going to throw him a towel? What the fuck? That's insane. You're going to fuck your players and not clean them up afterwards and bring them a snack? The fuck's wrong with you? You see, when I put it like that, it sounds really fucked up. You're supposed to take care of your homies, goddammit. It's important.
It is.
Small note, not small note, but kind of an important note that I think is kind of implicitly understood in the gaming community, but it's not like explicitly talked about, especially for newer folks. There is a power exchange between a storyteller / DM and players that happens. Basically, players do give up some of their narrative control to a storyteller with the understanding and trust that the storyteller, I meant to write will, but it said quill. Quill guide them fairly, safely, and to satisfaction. I know that sounds horny.
Yeah, that's okay.
Kind of. It's hard for me to write about power exchanges sometimes and not have it like relate back to kink, but like it's.
I mean, yeah.
It's the community that talked about it first that I ran into, so here we are.
Yeah.
STs also take on the responsibility to run the game with the understanding and trust that players will respect their time, effort, and vulnerability with putting on a performance and managing the needs of the players. So that's it's a two-way street, and I just want to make sure everybody is aware that this is a two-way street power exchange thing where players do inherently give up a little bit of narrative control to partake in the game, and as a storyteller you are taking on the responsibility of doing that, but also in taking on that responsibility your players need to respect your choices and the effort that you're making, but that does not negate your ability as a player to go, hey bro, what the fuck? So yeah. But if you're new to storytelling and you're nervous, that's totally okay and normal. To quote Jake the dog, sucking at something is the first step to sort of being good at something.
I will tell you, all your players, if they're new, they are also nervous.
They also do not know what they're doing.
Yes, they do not. And 2, if they've played before, they will understand if you've told them this is your first time STing, and hopefully they won't be dicks about it.
They shouldn't be dicks.
If they're dicks, then maybe invite different people to your table.
Or, have a talk and be like, hey bro, why?
Yeah.
Hey, I've never done this before. I'd like to run a simple game so I can learn. And I guarantee you no one will say, oh, I don't want another friend who will actually ST games.
It's like finding a drummer for a band.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when you're the ST,
come here, little one. We need you.
You become the community drummer.
The world needs more drummers and STs.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Also,
I left my drink downstairs.
Do you need to go get it?
No, it's fine. Everyone else just took a sip at the same time, and I looked for my drink, and it's not in the room.
Oh, I feel bad now. Don't drink the throat spray. Okay.
Drink the throat spray.
That was so many squirts.
That was quite a few.
It's supposed to be 3, but it was like, I did like 2 and 2 halves. Oh, I shouldn't take this if I'm pregnant, apparently.
Well, you're safe.
Right? Yeah, I had a vasectomy. I can't get pregnant anymore.
So...
That's mostly organic cane alcohol, anyway.
Oh my god. But yeah, storytelling, as we said, is a skill that needs to be learned and practiced.
Yeah.
Nobody is out of the box the world's greatest story. No one the fuck is.
And if they say they are, they're lying.
There's some people who may start out and be better at it because they have other skills in life that apply to storytelling.
Maybe they went to storytelling camp as a kid.
Maybe they're at storytelling camp. There's lots of... God damn it. There are loads of actual play series now, which for those who don't know, actual play series are people that actually play TTRPGs as a performance for a live audience of some sort, usually like on Twitch or YouTube or some sort of social media platform. So there's loads of games with loads of stories you can watch, podcasts, all sorts of options. While they have varying degrees of popularity and quality, you do not have to compare yourselves to them.
I would say...
You shouldn't.
Not only that, I would go so far as to say, don't watch a bunch of actual plays to try and get tips on how to run your game. While you could get some useful things from it, maybe controversial take, a lot of quote-unquote actual plays are semi-scripted, or they are edited, or they do multiple takes. They edit out stuff that is not. You're going to have more table talk. You'll have more characters asking questions, pausing the game to ask how a mechanic works. There's a lot of shit that you're going to run into that you will never see on anyone's actual play, quote-unquote, podcast.
Yeah, like, as somebody who has done actual plays, the magic of pre-recording has saved a lot of issues because, goddammit, somebody will have a blonde moment and forget what the fuck they're doing. Hi, I'm Peoples.
If you're playing D&D, I guarantee you, at least once the wizard's gonna need to stop for like 5 minutes to like reread a spell like 8 times to be like, okay, so I know it's a fucking lightning bolt, but what does the lightning bolt do? And then they'll have to like read it out loud, and it'd be like solving a group puzzle. There's like lots of things like that don't happen in actual plays.
Yeah. And there's also like actual plays depending on the series you're watching. Some of those actual play actors are professional actors.
Yes. Professional voice actors or performers of some sort.
Yeah. So when you're doing an actual play, you are playing a tabletop game, but you also have the audience of the viewer to account for. So those kinds of games, players and STs are performing for the audience, so they might make choices or do stylistic things with the game that you do not need to do for your home game. So keep that in mind. So yeah, if actual plays is what gets you into tabletop gaming, fantastic. That's cool. Welcome, friend.
You can enjoy them for what they are, and I'm not telling you not to. I'm just saying I wouldn't watch them and say that's how I should run my game.
Yeah, like if you like the vibes, like at least in terms of ETM, like if you like the vibes of how Jason Curl does storytelling, I think that's valid, but understand that production is going to be very different from your home game. And you don't have putting yourself on that pedestal or your players putting you up on that pedestal is a lot of pressure.
You don't have official writers for World of Darkness behind you helping you.
You aren't a writer for World of Darkness.
You aren't a writer.
Right?
You, like...
Yeah, so it's like, and you don't have the magic of a studio space with like 3-point lighting. Unless you go really hard as a storyteller, you got some like fucking ambiance, which I'm all for.
Even if your friends like miniatures, you probably don't have an entire cityscape of a town in front of you at all moments that you're playing in. Like,
yeah,
that's why I love the magic of a dry erase board. You just throw some sketches down and go.
Yeah.
They don't have to be good sketches either. Every actual play, all the drawings are so professionally done and nice looking. I'll draw some dog shit ass maps, but everyone knows what's happening. Hey, look, I have 3 little cardboard crates that Sarah made me for Christmas one year, and those are the crates in the room, and everything else is just a little drawing.
There's also little barrels.
There's some little barrels, yeah.
But there's also like pre-gen maps that you can also buy, or maps that are like puzzle pieces. If you really
Dungeon Tiles.
Dungeon Tiles, if you like doing DIY craft stuff, I highly recommend Black Magic Craft.
Cool channel.
It's a cool channel, like metalhead guy from Canada that does a lot of very accessible, like build your own dungeon tiles, build your own scatter terrain.
That's
and
cool.
He's done some sci-fi and post-apocalyptic stuff. So if you wanted to like learn how to make mini dumpsters and scatter terrain that would work for like a more modern setting. I know some people are going to be like, Sarah, why are you talking about scatter terrain for a VTM game? And I'm like,
because it's cool.
Look, man, if people want to do like action vampire fight, like the Gehenna Wars book's out, so combat's going to become more of a thing in this game system. So if you want to have people doing a fight in a dirty alleyway, you can just draw 2 lines on your D&D like tile map, like the dry erase mat, and be like, that's the alley. Here's a dumpster. Here's some trash cans. Here's a pile of pallets. And then we're going to use these dice to represent your figures. Or thing I've kind of wanted to do for those kinds of game is either draw or get character art made for the player characters and get them printed out as like a 2D standee, and you can buy
this little T-top.
Yeah, this little T-top, like cardboard, like little placard placeholder things. I know you can buy those bases in bulk, and you can just like swap out like character art.
I'm pretty sure there's a company that does D&D minis that are like that. You get a bunch of bases, and then they're just pre-printed monsters.
Oh yeah,
so you can just flip them out really easily.
I know
there's
there's monster boxes for Pathfinder that do the exact same thing.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, because then they have those cardboard pre-printed monsters to scale already, but then they have the little standees. And I'm like, I know you can buy the standees from a lot of game stores. So if that's an accessibility thing you want to do, like, go for it. Also, let people pay artists for cool art, and then you can show off your cool art to your friends and each other. And
that's always cool.
That's always fun. We love that shit. But in terms of storytelling, communicating with your players is important. A lot of your players probably have also been STs or DMs in other systems. They should be able to support you and understand or give suggestions. Yes. I do recommend checking out stories and performances that you like for notes. I think there's a difference between putting something on a pedestal and having an aspiration. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so.
So I would recommend take notes on these performances on stories, on other pieces of media that you like. And do you like what's being discussed? Is it the tone or the vibe? Do you like the gestures and the way that the characters are moving in the space? Do you like the use of voices or accents? Is the structures of the story beats? Like deciding what you like yourself in a story and in a performance is going to make it easier for you to decide how you're going to build your storytelling little toolbox.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Especially if you're like, I've never done this before and I'm really nervous and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, well, okay, let's say you really like the 1990s version of Henry V.
Okay.
That's a deep pull, but I do really like that. It's like, I love that movie when I was a kid. I don't know if that says anything about me in particular. Love the shit out of that.
You get it.
There were some really good historical medieval battle scenes, and I liked the speeches. I had no idea what he was saying, but I was just like, sounds important.
I really liked George of the Jungle when I was a kid.
Yeah, dude, honestly, though, that movie still holds up.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Watch out for that tree.
But yeah, I'm just like going through that and like taking notes for yourself, going like, okay, do I like it because of the effort put into the costuming and therefore it's like the scene setting that I like? Is it like the performances? Is it like how they're enunciating and everything? Do I just like cool swords?
I mean, cool swords.
I mean, I do like cool swords.
Are pretty cool.
It's just... I have found in storytelling it's a lot easier for me to, before a game, to like dissect and like, okay, what do I like? And then if I know what I like and I'm enthusiastic about it, it makes it easier for other people to buy into what I'm trying to deliver. So if you can just find like 3 things that you like about yourself and the way you're going to tell a story, you can have that in your little pocket and go.
Off we go.
Hell yeah. Once you've nailed that down on pieces of media that you like, you compare that to how you share stories yourself. I would say consider how much you want to ham things up or act out versus being more natural to your sense of self. Because there's some storytellers, I think I'm in this camp where most of the time I narrate a story pretty close to how I talk and enunciate things. And then for certain characters, I'll go kind of over the top just for fun. Mm-hmm. But there's some storytellers that every NPC has a unique voice and a unique way of acting and being, and they all have a little backstory, like they came out of a Quentin Tarantino script that you will never see.
Even if you try to get a hold of this person and get them to tell you their story, no, they don't want to.
Yeah.
Because that's the character.
Yeah, and both performances like that are completely valid. It's just, if you're somebody who's not very emotive and you're trying to force yourself to do that, are you doing that because you're trying to expand what you're doing, or are you doing this because you feel like you have to and it's awkward for you and now it's weird?
Yeah.
I don't want people to force themselves into spaces because they feel obligated to, as opposed to, I want to explore this and try a thing. So there's that. If you're comfortable, I would say touch base with your friends and families and etc. to see if there's anything about how you talk or share events with them that they are particularly enjoying of. You may be surprised at what things you may do that you don't pay attention to, and also other people care about you and they want you to be good at what you're doing and enjoying yourself.
No.
And sometimes the people that care about you will notice things that you do that you don't realize you do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, if you're new to storytelling and you're just like, I don't know what to do with my hands. And they're just like, what do you mean you don't know what to do with your hands? You talk with your hands all the time. You could
just keep doing that.
Keep doing that. And it's like, oh shit, my hands are powerful. They're tools. I have thumbs and a dream to make my friends sad.
I will accomplish this
but for fun.
With my hands.
Yes. Finger guns, I guess.
Exactly.
But good news. Nearly every person has some experience with telling stories to your family, your friends, your peers, your coworkers. If you can tell people about that one time, something embarrassing or shocking or interesting or fun happened to you that one time, you've already taken your first steps into storytelling.
Great job.
Woohoo.
I'm proud of you, son.
Yeah. Okay, so you got past the nervousness. You're like, okay, I think I got some
ideas.
Plans. I got some ideas. What do I do? I'm gonna say improv basics, which I know everybody cringed. I'm sorry. But that is the big thing that separates tabletop games from video games is we're doing it live in front of your friends and potentially family, lovers. Who knows? There will be other people.
Possibly all of the above.
Yeah, could be a combination of things.
Yeah, I was I have been aware of tables that included friends, family, and partners, and I'm like, I could never.
It's a lot.
It just seems like a lot. Most of my family's also moved on, so
that'd be pretty weird.
That would be weird.
You'd have to get a hold of a Hakata.
Need to get a Ouija board.
I was just reading a book about psychic seances. We could figure this out.
Oh god, just get my dad out of the Roomba.
Dude, yeah, we got the ashes. We could set up like a vessel as a dice tower. Could we build your dad into a dice tower so that he could be a character?
Could we take his ashes? We could take his ashes and put them in like a dice mold too.
Yeah, so he could be the dice as well.
He could be the dice. We could so roll cursed. Him in himself.
Those would be the most cursed dice.
He'd be into it if we played like war games, I bet.
The only time that man ever told me he was proud of me is when I told him I was being a dungeon master for the first time.
Hell yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, only time.
Not something I would have expected.
Me neither, because that was the first time I learned my dad played Dungeons and Dragons, and he was like, "Oh yeah, no, my friends and I, we did that all the time before I got arrested and went into the Navy." And I'm like, "What is this lore drop?
What are we even talking about anymore?"
I was like, "Yeah, so that's a whole other story."
It's settled. We're making your dad into dice.
I feel like other nerds, when they take cremated remains of their loved ones and they make them into dice, it's like an homage for a shared hobby of love. And for me, it's pure spite.
We only make him into hunger dice.
No, that's
representing the worst part of being a vampire.
Cursed.
We could make some hunger dice. We could make some what are they? I can't remember. Rage dice. And what do hunters have again? Sad ass bitch dice. I can't remember what they're called.
Sad ass bitch dice.
Hunter, you're the one that did Hunter Month.
I know. It's been over a year now.
It's been several months.
I'll be honest. I have not touched H5 since
Hunter Month.
We've
been busy. That's okay.
Speaking of being busy,
improv. Storytelling for tabletop games is basically structured improv.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah, the game rules, the world lore, and agreed upon comfort levels guide the rails on what kinds of scenarios can come up and what kind of reactions should generally be expected. Yeah, So it's improv with like some parameters.
Some slight guide rails.
Yes. First big rule for improv basics is the rule of yes and. This is the improv concept of accepting what a scene partner has said or done and using that to build upon through your actions and choices in an affirming way. Using this technique shows and builds trust between the players and the storytellers that everyone will respect each other's actions and choices. Every suggestion, no matter how outlandish or seemingly insignificant, is an opportunity to explore and create, and that is from Backstage.
I like that.
They had a nice little article about yes-anding that I was like, oh, this is nice. Unfortunately, it did not include the rule that I think is really important for storytelling. Beyond the yes and is the rule of no but.
Yeah, that's also very useful.
Yes. This is the improv concept of accepting what a scene partner has said or done and using that to build upon through your actions and choices, but as a pivot. So instead of absolutely rejecting the idea, you just go, I am seeing and receiving what you are saying. We're going to take a left or a right.
Right.
For whatever reason. This technique is for those moments when the player ST presents something that crosses a boundary, is disliked by a character, or some other factor of nah, without shaming or disrespecting the choice of the other party member. This is a skill that will take you a lifetime to hone. It is okay if you fuck it up, and it is okay if somebody no-buts you. It is not a diss or slight, any of that thing. I would say the most simple form of this technique is to acknowledge what has been said and then present an alternative path. There's multiple different options and ways of doing the no but I feel like this is like the classic one. So if somebody presents you a thing and you want to no but, options as a storyteller are you can fade to black, where you go, okay, I'm seeing that, I'm accepting that. We are not going to have a 20 minutes of the bone zone at the table. So we're just going to fade to black. I am accepting it. I'm receiving. I am not describing it.
Yeah.
That is happening over there. Anyways, other people at the table, what are you doing? Well, that is happening.
Well, that is happening.
There's that. The classic of, I see. Have you thought about insert other option? Sometimes that's all you need is just go, okay, you want to spit on the werewolf's face. I see. Have you thought about leaving?
Not doing that.
Have you thought about asking him a question? Have you thought about, could you do an insight check for me?
Yeah. Giving them a chance to, like, not make the decision that you as an ST know is going to just...
You're just like, I can't narratively find a reason for this to not absolutely fuck them in the scene.
Yeah. I think my way around that sometimes is, whether it's D&D or VTM, every game has a version of this, but just like, could you roll me an intelligence check? Could you give me like an occult check or something like that? It's like, actually, yes, this quote-unquote werewolf is in human form now, but you know that if you piss him off, he might turn into a giant beast that can destroy you.
I see. Could you roll me a wits and awareness?
Yeah.
Like, why? It's like, while you feel absolutely justified in this action, and I, as your storyteller, am going to tell you, I'm not going to fully stop you from doing this, but you've realized there are no mortals in this bar with you. And that's a sign that this guy has built up enough rage in his system that humans are innately leaving. Proceed.
Just so you know.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm not telling you no, but here's some more information. If you wish to proceed to do this very dramatic action, understand there will be... This is a way of nicely being like, okay, if you go straight ahead, this is what will happen. You can go pivot left or right if you decide to.
You are absolutely allowed.
Other things I've done is why does your vampire need to lactate?
We talked about this a couple episodes
it's
ago.
Important.
Because they lactate blood, and it's a more humane and less violent way of Googling someone.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to fade to black. While that's happening, John, tell me what you're... Yeah. See, that's the double but no. No but. It's like, why would you...
I would take that as a yes. And we're going to fade to black.
It starts with a no but going, why? Why is this? Okay. You can then yes and or, throw a different no but. Then there's myriads of options on how to do yes ands and how to do no buts. There are tons of videos now with panel discussions from cons and other podcasts that will go into the nitty-gritties of how you do this. I did not think now seemed like the best time for us to do this, especially when there's like resources that are like technically way more professional than us.
No one's more professional than us.
I mean, I got some social media posts we need to work on. Anyways, so other thing you need on top of your improv basics is a game.
Actually, before we get to that,
yes.
I'm going to say another thing, if you want to stretch your improv legs a little bit, but before you get started, one thing that I would suggest is definitely Jackbox. There are a couple Jackbox games that are great. Most of them are some form of improv, even as just like, I have 30 seconds to think of the funniest thing to put in here. But one of my personal favorites is called Talking Points. And so other players come with the title of a presentation, and then you have to give a presentation while other people pick the photos that are your slides.
That's fun.
So you have to make up what you're presenting as you go, and everyone else then votes on the quality of your presentation.
I will say TKO is also really good for that.
Yeah, that's the drawing one where you're designing t-shirts.
Yeah, where people you alternate between doing drawings and coming up with prompts.
Yeah, and then you get a random selection of drawings and prompts, and you have to combine them into the best shirt. And then you get points when people use your drawings, when people use your text, or when people vote for your combo as the best shirt.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're just like I'm nervous about improv, like if you can play a Jackbox game successfully, you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even have to win the Jackbox game.
No.
Just
if you do it successfully, which is, did you have fun with your friends?
Ta-da!
You did it successfully.
That's because that's the same goal of a tabletop game.
Oh my god.
Speaking of a game.
A game. What's the game you want to run? Is there a time period and or location that the game is existing in? I would say have a rough idea of what you want to springboard for your plot, and this will also help in getting you hooks to recruit people. You don't have to have the full game written out and in a box and just waiting. You can just be like, yeah, so I have this idea of running a vampire game. I'm going to set it in Tempe, Arizona.
Tempe? All right. That's a choice.
The game is, and then you can like slam two pieces of media that you like, where it's like, it's gonna be Breaking Bad combined with
The Goonies.
No, god damn it, I'm forgetting the name of the vampire movie where it has the bar fight.
Dusk Till Dawn?
No, the other one.
Blade?
No. Damn it, there's a lot of vampire movies that bar fights.
Yeah. Vamp?
No, the leather jacket guy.
Blade?
That helps.
Damn it, no, sunglasses. Damn it.
Blade? Are you sure this isn't one of the Blades?
No! Near Dark.
Okay.
Sorry. So we're between Near Dark and Breaking Bad for this Tempe, Arizona game. Oh my god. I hate that I was giving these prompts, and I'm like, Sarah, that's so many of these movies. I'm like, shit, you right. My bad.
I was thinking John Carpenter's Vampires, too. Also fits every single one of those.
That does. I am so sorry. But yeah, there you go. That you can have that little chunk as like your game pitch, and people might go, interesting, or hey, can I stick in this other thing? You know. At least, because then you can go like, okay, the idea is I have game system. I have a vague idea of where I want the game to be, and I have a vague idea of what the plot vibe base is going to be. Usually that's enough to get people to start going, yeah, I think I'll show up. Yeah.
I could kind of do it.
In regards to World of Darkness, this system does focus more upon narrative than rolling dice. The dice are a tool to help build tension or let fate make a narrative choice in your story. Given that, these games will require more performance and more thought put into character setting and scenarios than other game systems like Dungeons & Dragons, where you are just like, I am a ranger, that is a wizard, you're a sorcerer, there's the slut.
Hello.
Sorcerer and or bard.
Yeah.
Sometimes a cleric. But anywho, things you might need to think about in terms of WOD is please give yourself the grace on doing mess ups, give yourself the grace to learn things, the grace to accept ideas from other people's, and the idea to rest and recoup. Because sometimes these games will be emotionally taxing and mentally taxing.
From the prep to the running to the after.
All of it.
Yeah, because
you're
gonna fuck up. It's fine.
And also could just use some of your social battery.
Yeah. You're gonna learn things about your friends and yourself and the game, and that's cool and fun. Don't get too precious about your narrative because it's supposed to be interactive.
No, it is not your narrative. Let's just say that straight out.
Our narrative.
Yes. Unless there is one major scenario, is one where I've had issues with, where that is not the case. And that is when you look at your players and say, I bought this book. It is a pre-written adventure. We are going to run this adventure. Here are the rules that come with this adventure.
You need to build characters between level 5 and 7. We're picking 5.
Yes. Or these are certain things for this setting. That's the only time. And even then, it's not your narrative. It's the person who published the book's narrative.
Yeah. And then you're going to take their narrative and you're going to...
You can tweak it.
Tweak it as much as you desire. But yeah. Especially on the Grace 2 for Rest and Recoup. With storytelling, especially in WoD, because it's an alternative universe to the world we live in. You're going to have players that know things about elements in your story more than you. It's going to happen. And there's going to be times you guys will make a joke and then someone will go, wait, is that true? And immediately whip out a phone and start asking questions. I swear to God, if anybody uses GPT to answer any questions that I have or they have in a game system, I'm going to take away XP. That's just a house rule I have. I'm like, no, you use Bing like an adult.
Bing.
No, it doesn't have to be Bing. You can use DuckDuckGo, I guess. Just
yeah. Ever since Jeeves retired,
I know. Let him enjoy his peace.
I'm kind of glad he's retired though, or they would have brought him back as an AI.
Oh God.
Yeah, they would.
With a stupid little knockoff Alfred voice.
Fingers crossed they don't change their mind, but. I mean, no one uses Ask anyway, so.
Not that no. Yeah. But yeah. So just between the exhaustion of having to think on your feet, and sometimes the emotional damage, because you will also get attached to NPCs and things that happen in characters, and God forbid, get invested in your players' narratives.
Players, NPCs, characters may die.
Yeah, or go through the big sads, or
lose a toe. I don't know.
The other thing.
Losing a toe. It's rough stuff.
You might know how to lose
hard
a toe.
To walk.
Players could lose a toe.
That is something. Those are 3 factors I would say you need for getting started as running your own game: is improv basics, having a game, and players.
That makes sense.
The game does not go without players. The game also does not go without STs. It's a symbiotic.
Yes. The closest you get to that they've become kind of popular with some solo narrative games. Yeah. And even then the book kind of becomes the ST and you become the player for the most part.
At least what I've seen from those, they seem to be kind of akin to choose your own adventure novels, which I enjoy those. Or those the World of Darkness novel games, visual novels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think those kind of read analogous to that for me.
Yeah, I guess my point there is more it's in that there is no ST, but there is a player. You have to have a game and a player.
Yes. So for finding players,
Solitaire.
Yeah. So if you wish to find players, I would say reach out to your homies, your family, neighbors, classmates, coworkers, folks you are comfortable with. Options most folks start with and continue to run games for, especially for long-term chronicles, is going to be your friends.
Yeah, friends, family,
peers of various sorts. Make sure that you guys all have comms set up to organize game night, post game notes, and share memes. I swear to God, that's been one of the biggest kicks in the dick for any game I have ever tried to run as an ST, is not us having an agreed upon. This is the method we're using to contact each other. This is the calendar we have set for the goddamn game. And I need a place for you guys to share actual material for the game and then your dumb fuck jokes.
Yes.
Both are important, but if they're in the same fucking group chat, it's gonna be fucked, because you're gonna be like, oh hey, where was the question you had asked me for last game session? You're like, hold on, and you're scrolling through 12 fucking memes and gifs, 12 swipes, so God knows that's 50 to 100 messages
easily.
Yeah. So decide how you want to do that. I don't care. Just pick whatever works for you. Discord is a great tool.
I like it because you can make character channels, you can make a main channel, and then you can have a regular general channel for all the other bullshit.
And you can set up an event reminder in your Discord server for games. It's fantastic, but some people might prefer a series of group chats. Other people might want to use a calendar app. I don't know, you do you. We have multitudes of free and or paid options. I trust you to make your decision, but whatever the fuck that is, I would say session 0, make that a step of agreeing on what date time is and how you guys are agreeing to talk with each other, because it gets fucking annoying when you're like trying to organize things and one person's not paying attention to the group chat and you're like, dude, I posted a message and like, sorry, I didn't know we were using that. I'm like, I'm gonna throw you out this goddamn window. So to prevent other people from having the heartache I've had, I'm like, please, dear God, do that. I would also say if you're looking for players, another option is go to a local game or hobby store. There's always folks looking for storytellers. A good option for running a bunch of one-shots for lots of different people as a kind of like level grind mode for storytelling. I would say like a lot of my storytelling skills got better and improv skills got better when I was going through pods of 4 to 6 players at local stores and at conventions. Because it's like, okay, I'm comfortable running games with my friends. I've kind of got these beats. Now I'm out in the wild dealing with people that I don't know very well, but they're excited to play games. We all kind of have a vague understanding of like how game is supposed to go. And most of the time, those people are fairly chill, especially if you're newer. And you're just like, hey, I'm not used to running games here, but I've been storytelling for however long. Or, hey, I'm new to storytelling and I want to learn, so I'm running this module. If you want to come play, you're welcome.
That's why I love conventions. I never play Dungeons & Dragons, Call of Cthulhu, or Vampire because there's so many games I've never heard of that my friends will never buy the books and learn for. And they're always being run by like some guy or gal who just like really likes this game and wants to play it. And everyone else there's going to be like, well, I've always wanted to play this game that came out 12 years ago and I've never had the chance. So like everyone's excited. And there's like everyone's kind of their first time.
Yeah.
Usually this guy's like, oh, I love this story. I've run this at conventions all the time. It's always a good time. Try something new if you get a chance.
Also, on top of supporting your local physical media store, if you go to local hobby and game stores, oftentimes companies will send these locations modules based on their game systems that they want people at the store to run.
True.
And depending on your game store location, you can work out deals with local game stores to get like store credit for running games. So you might want to ask about that. That's dependent on your area and the company running your store. But, you know, you can turn that into a fun little side gig. And honestly, I've used that shit to bulk out resumes. It's fine. But yeah, I consider kind of running as a storyteller games and one-shots and modules at game stores and conventions kind of, it's the equivalent of like level grinding storytelling because you're going to get exposed to a lot of different players and play styles in a very short amount of time, but everybody's understanding that it's a public event that they either are paying you for and you are like, we have an understanding of storyteller player, like customer service understanding. So there's an understanding of rules of decorum, God damn it. Or it's a free thing and they have to be so goddamn nice to you because you are volunteering your time to run their dumbasses through this goddamn dungeon. And they're just so fucking excited that you'll do it. Third little option is, I would say, if you can find orgs that run games at cons or events, you may even earn event badges or even a small paycheck, depending on the orgs that you work with. And also, fun thing with running games at conventions, if you fuck up in front of these people, they're strangers you'll most likely never have to deal with again. So that kind of pulls off some of the stress.
Yeah.
That definitely removed a lot of stress from me running games at cons. I was like, oh God, what if I'm a dumbass? And I'm like, they're never going to see me. It's fine.
That is, I mentioned this before, you could definitely do this at conventions. You could definitely do this at your local game shop, or you could do this with your friends. But I kind of said there's that third stage where it's no one story, but the guy who wrote the book. There are a lot of games that have pre-written adventures. D&D, obviously, Pathfinder, obviously, Call of Cthulhu. I like Call of Cthulhu because their pre-written adventures tend to be written to be one session, maybe two. Like, they do have long, epic ones, but they have a lot of them that are like, we're going to sit down and play through the story in a setting, and then we're done. A lot of adventures like that. Give it, like, I would say normally about 4 hours is what you should plan for. But it just depends on all your players could die within the first hour. And then it's like, all right, roll new characters. We're starting over. But
don't put that book through the shredder. Time.
But yeah, I mean, that takes even more weight off you. There's a bunch of strangers coming. I have pre-made characters for them. They are going to sit down and go through this pre-written adventure that I just read 3 times so that I know what to prepare in my mind, and that's it. That's the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
You do that a couple times, and then you go, here's what I liked from those stories that we ran.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I thought was fun about STing. Then you can start running your own stuff.
Yeah.
That takes so much pressure off of you.
Mm-hmm.
If you can do all those things. You can even do it online on a Discord server.
Oh yeah, and there's websites for people that are like, I think the website's literally called Looking for Game.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's websites where you can like pay someone to ST for you, and you can pick up a little side gig as ST for people online. Those do come with the caveat of your profile as a storyteller will be like rated by the players, and so I'm throwing out these different options just depending on your comfort level. Could be somebody like me who's like, oh, I'll go do things in public. I don't give a fuck. Doing things in front of my friends, I actually care about these people's opinions. No, I'm nervous. And then there's other people that are like, strangers, I don't know.
I can't look at this.
No, I can only do this for my 4 friends because we all have the same level of tism. And anybody outside of that, I can't handle. And I'm like, that's valid too.
Yep.
But there's loads of options, and some of them let you like interact with and build more in the community. So yeah, so you got your players, you got your game, you got you've practiced some improv, you've done your 80s style montage, you feel like you're ready to go. How do you build a chronicle? That's next episode.
Hey.
Yo.
Tune in next week. How to build a chronicle.
Yes, that's next week on Blankbodies. Ba-da-da-ba. Yeah, you can be a storyteller. Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
They let my dumbass do it.
If you had the attention span to listen to us ramble for an hour and a half, you have the attention span to be an ST.
Yeah. And if you can tell a story to other people and they get engaged and like nod along in earnest, I promise you can storytell.
Yeah.
If you can't do that, but you're good at getting other people to talk and tell the story for you, you can also be an ST.
Oh yeah, storytelling system's really good for folks that are like, I'm not very extroverted, so I don't want to do emotive, crazy voices and gesticulations and silly hats. It's not my vibe. I'm more chill and whatever. I was like, yeah, that's fine. You can just be the ominous little guy behind your DM screen. Just go like, okay, cool. Yeah, how do you do that? And just start like giving them little nuggets of questions and just let them give you enough rope to hang them with.
Go, okay, cool. I'll gather my dice.
You're like, okay, cool.
And they go, wait. Why are you gathering dice?
Why? That sounded like many.
Yeah.
That sounded like so many.
I can't see it, but that's probably, 2 handfuls I see. Okay.
Okay. I've made a choice. And you're just like, chunk. Yes, you did.
You did.
Chunk. And that's a completely valid way to tell stories.
Yep.
Each storyteller's like a snowflake.
Yes.
In that there's not enough of them, and global warming will destroy us all. Anyways,
Yay.
Thanks Paralyze for the music.
Yeah, thanks Paralyze.
Thank you, Paralyze. Thank you for the music.
Give them $1 on the Bandcamp if you have the wherewithal and desire. I think they're worth a listening to and a pledge of coin.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you wish to see eyeballs on us on the social medias, we do have Instagram @BlankBodiesPod, TikTok @BlankBodiesPodcast. We also have Blue Sky BlankBodies.
Yeah, I think
cool.
I'm gonna double check because I'm good at social media. I'm pretty sure it's just Blankbodies.
Cool. We're getting better at things and stuff. Also, keep an eye out soon. There'll be
someone followed us. Neat.
Neat.
Yep,
new
it's just
wares.
Blankbodies at B-Sky. Yep.
Yeah, there will be new wares soon.
Blankbodies has wares if you has coin.
Yeah, soon. If you appreciate the work we've put in and you want to give us a couple of dollar dues, we do have a Patreon.
Yeah.
Get you various titles in our community Discord where there's a lovely group of people sharing memes, playing games for each other and with each other. It's a good space if you want to get your feet wet in
playing games or storytelling.
Yeah. And there's also various other goodies and things that you can get for being a member of our Patreon, as well as the monthly bonus episode. So you get 4 freebies public.
4.
And then a 5th one that is paid for with your Patreon money.
5.
We are currently doing our review series of Kindred the Embraced, that 90s classic.
Yes, we're going to be doing episodes 2 and 3 this month, so you can get in early while we start working on those.
Ayo.
I'm not going to lie. In episode 1, I absolutely love the Nosferatu sliding out of the cooler and getting out in the morgue.
Just fucking king.
I'm honestly excited for more.
Yeah.
Hell too. Yeah.
Even if it's just for him.
Right, actually.
None of us will ever be him. If you are him, or an artist of some sort, a musician, actual play actor,
an actual vampire,
are you a storyteller that wishes to talk to us about your career of storytelling?
Yeah.
Hit us up at blankbodies@gmail.com. We have an interview series. We'd love to talk to you about your cool projects.
What's his name? That big lad.
You really gotta narrow it down.
Big lad, red hair. Brandon Lee Mulligan, I bet you fucking won't.
Is he a big lad?
No, I'm saying big as in like...
Popular.
Like popular, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Yes, Brandon Mulligan, please.
Brandon Lee Mulligan.
Brennan?
Brandon.
Brennan? Brandon?
Brandon.
Brannon?
Brandon.
Brandon.
Brannon.
Brandon Lee Mulligan?
I don't remember.
I really think we should mulligan this part of the episode.
Yeah, I can delete this.
Yeah,
but
that's pretty good.
I was going to say, if you want to support us and you don't... If you want to support us and you don't want to throw some cash, you can always give us a review on whatever podcast app you listen to. Share it with your friends. Share us on social media. Just spread the word. We'd really appreciate it.
We'd appreciate it. I know our YouTube channel is fucked. I don't know what happened. Apparently we're missing a bunch of episodes, working on fixing it. But we will have playlists, handy dandy ones of things. Soon. We're working on it. Huzzah!
Woo!
Also, patrons, I forgot to mention, also get to vote on polls to help us do the show, because we are dumb as fuck, and I want to make sure we're making things that you want.
We also can't decide.
No. Sometimes you guys can't either. I've broken 2 game show wheels.
The fury of the
We're on
wheel.
our 3rd right now.
I'm working on it.
I still say if this didn't work, we're using the car tire.
Hell yeah.
I'm kind of down.
I'm just saying, we should use the Patreon money to get Beyblade Pit. Anyways, get us out of here. Okay.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Beyblade Pit. DVD player.
I really like that kiss kind of sounded like a NASCAR.
Well, because I thought, like, Beyblades.
Oh, see, I thought you were getting us out there with the kiss.
Oh, like,
yeah.